Goddamn.
Huh, man, goddamn is right, and we are back. We are back, man, with yet again another edition of the Notorious podcast, another edition of the Newsman. And what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition of the Newsman. I want to thank you guys for joining us a little bit earlier than normally expected. Obviously, if you guys know, this is a busy time of the year for me. So yes, it's the long-awaited annual anniversary weekend. So yeah, man. So I'm gonna obviously be piecing out of here a little bit earlier today, normally than usual. But so you guys know, obviously we're live at 4, but instead today we are live at 1. So thank you guys very much for joining us here a little bit earlier, man. So yeah, man. Yeah, so that is that. If this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we are on here live after Monday Night Raw with Notorious Unscripted, or with Unscripted, my bad. We're live with Unscripted after Monday Night Raw every Monday, and at 4 p.m. Central, normally at 4 p.m. Central on the Friday, we are on here with the Newsman, as well as the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW. We're live directly after the show goes off the air, which this is like the first time in 3 weeks that we do not have any predictions to do. It was obviously All In, Bash in Berlin, All Out, so it's been hectic with the predictions, but we got probably about another more 3 weeks, and then we obviously got Bad Blood, but yeah, man. So, yes, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, like I just said, Monday after Raw for Unscripted, Friday at 4 p.m. Central with the news and pay-per-views for WWE and AEW. If you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, that is episode 212, I want to say. I'm losing count, guys. I'm losing count. Let me see. Yes. Yes, it is 212. It is 212. When will WWE have Jay return to the Bloodline, man? That is available on all platforms for you guys, man. That is available on all platforms for you guys, man. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single, like I said, Monday after Monday Night Raw for Unscripted, man, where we go over the week of wrestling, bro. So, with that, man, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now get the brand new shirt to commemorate the redesign of the podcast, man. Live on your screen, you have the Next Chapter design, which, like I said, is available on bonfire.com. Get yours today to commemorate the rebrand of the podcast, man, which, again, link is at the top of the description of this very video. And yeah, man, so with that, if this is your first time watching, you guys do not know who we are here at NHP. I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Things been pretty normal. Just just waiting for everything, man. But I'm waiting for Bad Blood. Just been waiting, man. But I've been good. Just been chilling, and it's gonna be a pretty chill but probably boring weekend, man. But I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? Logan, Bell, Call of Zombies, our new friend here. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing in the replay? And what about you, bro? How are you doing?
My bad. Okay, my bad. Accidentally flashed you guys the new SmackDown logo. um, well, we'll get to that in a little bit, but nah, bro, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Like I said, yeah, just chilling, bro, just chilling. So obviously, a pretty big weekend, man, and yeah. I mean, yeah, it was yeah, obviously, yeah, pretty big weekend coming up, man. But other than that, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, and yeah. As Durante always asks, family's good. I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, Hunter, my man, Iran. gonna say Iran. I think that's how you pronounce it. How's it going, bro? And thank you for joining us, dude. Thank you for joining us, man. So yeah, bro. I'm doing good, man. Like I said, I'm doing good, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. That's pretty much about it, man. But yeah, nothing too much, nothing too much for me, dude. But yeah, so seems as if everybody's doing good. It seems like you guys are happy about Raw going 2 hours, man. We're gonna end you guys off with that, man. We're gonna start you guys off with some AEW. We're gonna start you guys off with some AEW, man. Well, you know what? Since you guys are talking about it, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess we could start with Raw. I guess we could start with Raw.
Why not?
A man
Honestly,
Logan
why not?
says they should have picked Wayne for the halftime show instead of Kendrick.
Well, Logan, you're my boy. I love you, dog. Keep that blasphemy out this chat, bro. Come on, like I'm just seeing discourse online. I saw Lil Wayne was like talking about it broke him. That like, bro, not acting like a baby. The bro sucked at Mania. I'm sorry, he's the goat, but
Yeah.
he sucked at Mania.
Oh,
Bro, Kendrick, the current GOAT, it's got to be Kendrick. Get that blasphemy out this chat, bro. Come
see, I get, man. I get. You know, it's in New Orleans. You know, and that's where he's from. I get that. I do, and I think the Super Bowl is in L.A. next year, which is obviously where Kendrick's from. But to be honest,
on.
man, there was no better time to pick Kendrick to lead the to lead a Super Bowl presentation. There was no better time. I mean, Kendrick is hot, and Kendrick is hot right now, and Kendrick is one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's one of the has Wayne never been like a part of one, like even as like a side act?
No way.
Because
He has to have before.
Because I know Kendrick was the side act, one of the side acts to the Eminem and Dr. Dre one, but yeah, I don't know, man. I agree. I agree with Kendrick headlining the show, man. I am all for that. I mean, Kendrick's
Bro, not like us in front of all that people. Come on, dog. It writes itself.
yeah. I mean, we'll get to find out what all 40,000 of the people like mustard on, and hopefully it's the beat ho. But
Exactly.
so yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with Kendrick. I agree with Kendrick definitely being chosen, man. He's very hot right now, and yes, he uh Kendrick, he was a main act, but I mean the main that like he didn't really get too long, at least from what I can remember. He performed like half of All Right, and then he performed half of another song. I can't even remember what song it was, and then he was done. But I remember that one. That one had a bunch of artists on it. It had like Dr. Dre, Kendrick. There was like a bunch of people on that Super Bowl one. So no, I'm cool with Kendrick headlining. And yeah, yeah, I mean there's obviously a lot of songs, man, but yeah, I agree. And yeah, I mean no knock on Wayne. I mean, I see why he's upset, but you also got to see why they chose Kendrick. You know,
Did you guys now watch WrestleMania?
and that was I love, and don't get me wrong, I love Wayne. Wayne and Kendrick are probably both of those names are probably in my top 5, 100%.
Yeah.
But I love Wayne, but yikes, that Mania performance was this man really came out there and said he was going to drop a new single, and then he proceeded to go out there, sing like 30 seconds of a milli, and then just dip.
Like, and he didn't even do it good. It was, come on, bro.
It was, yeah, nah, but I agree. I agree. I agree with yeah. I mean, like I said, there was no better time to pick Kendrick. For
That's
sure.
why you're saying Lil Wayne,
The
Logan.
bias,
That makes sense.
the Packers bias from Logan. There it is.
There it is. There's the bias.
Yeah, man. But yeah. So that's that. But yeah, man. Glad you guys are doing good. Like I said, I'm doing good, man. Other than looks like a brand new man on screen today. It's always weird. It's always weird coming on here clean shaven, man. Especially when I've been looking scruffy for the better part of the past 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's a bit odd, but yeah, definitely looks like I'm looking at a new dude. But anyways, speaking of new, man, speaking of changes, Monday Night Raw. Wow. So as you guys could tell by the thumbnail, well, it is breaking news. This was breaking news as of actually this literally happened as Monday Night Raw was going on. Monday Night Raw, it broke, like I said, on Monday. WWE has announced that Raw will go back to being 2 hours, 8 p.m. Eastern Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, which for us fine folks in the Central Time Zone, that is 7 to 9.
Ooh,
from
like that, man.
From October 7th all the way up until the final Raw on the USA Network, December the 30th. Man, this shocked me. This shocked me, man. I did not expect to hear anything like this. Like I said, I did not expect to hear anything along the sorts of Monday Night Raw going back to being 2 hours. This like I said, man, this came as a pure shock. This came as a pure shock to me. I did not, like I said, in any realm see this happening at all. Being that the whole reason Monday Night Raw moved to 2 hours in the first place was because USA wanted it at 2 hours. So the fact that it is moving back, and it seems to have been, I mean, we'll get to that in a second, but it seems to have been a USA call, shocked me, to say the least.
Definitely, man. I was not expecting that news. And I was not expecting them to go to 2 hours before Netflix. You know, we didn't know the runtime or the possible run times up until recently, but I just assumed up until at least Netflix it's going to still be at 3 hours, so this was really shocking.
Definitely, man. So, yeah, this was very shocking, man. And as for the show itself, I will say, I think Triple H did about as good as he possibly, I think Triple H did about as good as he possibly could with the 3 hour time slot, to the point where on some episodes of Raw, it wasn't even bad. You know, it wasn't even bad, as to where I think the whole reason Monday Night Raw at 3 hours was, was frowned upon is because of the man himself, Vince McMahon. I think a lot of people looked at his show, and I think a lot of people watched it. I don't know how we got through that period, but we did, and we made it out. We watched that period, and it felt like we were watching the show for 6.5 hours, and we were only 45 fucking minutes into the program. You know what I mean? So that was a huge problem with the Vince McMahon administration and how they dealt with Monday Night Raw. But like I said, some weeks, again, Triple H had it to where the 3 hour time slot wasn't even as bad. But the reason I'm happy this is going back to 2 hours is because a lot of weeks, sure, Monday Night Raw isn't bad, but you get those segments where you say, we talk about it on Unscripted. We always get to those segments where we say, oh, here was the Sonya Deville versus Kairi Sane match. And we say, this was what it was. It had no effect on me. Or here's the Caden Carter and Katana Chance versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn match. And it's just like, so I'm good. And that's the reason I'm happy that we're going back to 2 hours, man, is because that shit is going to go away. And we're going to continue to, we're going to have a show, and Monday Night Raw already has a fantastic roster. we're going to have a show that has nothing but their heavy hitters, and it has nothing but their very top storylines and the storylines that they care about the absolute most on the show. And that is what I'm excited for Monday Night Raw, and that is what I'm excited for them to be going back to 2 hours, is because it's going to eliminate all the bullshit. It's going to eliminate all the shit on the show that nobody and their mother has a care in the world for. So that's what I'm excited for Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw going back to 2 hours, and for the love of God, if this gets the Final Testament off of my fucking television screen, then this is a good move by me.
Well, 100%, man, 100%. I think it's going to be a good move. It's going to trim a lot of the fat that does not need to be on the show, the useless parts that no one ever cares about. So I think it's going to be nothing but a good thing for the pace of the show, for what we care about on television. They're just going to get rid of a lot of excess stuff we don't need to see or doesn't matter, or that they just put because it's a 3-hour show. And I'm excited for that. It's going to be a lot smoother. It's going to be the flow is going to be really great for Raw. Triple H was able to make a 3-hour flow good. A 2-hour Raw, I'm very excited to see how he handles that, man. So I think this is phenomenal news, and I can't wait to see, how it looks in effect.
Yes, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Man. I think, yeah, I think like I said, if he does a pretty decent job with, how he handles, a 3-hour Raw, for the most part, like I said, sometimes there's that, glob of nothingness in there that nobody cares for. But for the most part, man, if he can do an okay job with a 3-hour Monday Night Raw, a 2-hour Monday Night Raw is going to be it's gonna be amazing, and I fully expect the quality of the show to be ramped up. And Monday Night Raw is already the best weekly wrestling show on television right now, and I'm expecting it to be that much better, which is exciting news.
It's very exciting.
So what does this mean? So, like I said, Monday Night Raw being at 2 hours is going to be a thing from October the 7th to December the 30th of, later this year, the final episode on the USA Network. What does this mean for Netflix? I've seen a lot of things flying around. I'm seeing it's going to be a 2-hour commercial-free Netflix. I'm hearing it's going to be 3 hours. Well, according to the Wrestling Observer, according to Dave Meltzer, take this with a grain of salt. Well, I mean, according to him, he got okay. So, according to Meltzer, the decision to move. So this is gonna talk about the 2-hour on USA for just a little bit, and then we're gonna get into the Netflix part. So, the decision to move to 2 hours was made by USA Network and not WWE. Interesting. So he says it's a 3-hour show when it moves to Netflix. I got it confirmed a few minutes ago. The basic situation is that it was a USA Network call, not a WWE call. I'm not sure why. It will boost the ratings of the show because they won't have that third hour that drags down the average. And I'm not sure exactly why USA made the call. The decision seems to be of a larger short-term $25 million deal. WWE and USA Network to continue airing Raw until the end of the year. WWE considered a move to Peacock, but the streaming service wasn't prepared to pay the extra for the show. USA Network did, but only agreed to take the 2-hour version for the remaining months of 2024. So, what does this mean for Netflix? So, conflicting reports from the popular social media account WrestleVotes report that the length of Raw on Netflix is wide open, along with saying that many WWE production and social media staff learned about the change in real time as we did. They also report there's no firm decision on how the show's format will change in 2025 once it's on Netflix. One key factor WWE is excited about is one key factor WWE is excited about with the Netflix move is the freedom to vary Raw's runtime. Unlike the strict 3-hour window on cable television, Netflix may allow WWE to adjust episode lengths as needed. It's not network television. WWE can run Raw as long or as short as they'd like, which is massive news if true. So, obviously, like I just read off to you guys, it says that their window is wide open. They do not have a specific runtime that they have to adhere to, which I have to say is could be exciting, but it also could be a curse. Because the reason it's exciting is because that's a lot like Black and Gold. That's a lot like Black and Gold. NXT sometimes it would go an hour, sometimes it would go 55 minutes, sometimes it would go an hour and 15 minutes, sometimes it would go an hour and 30 if they had, a bunch of stuff to do this week or that specific week. Sometimes that happened in NXT, but like I said, sometimes sometimes on NXT, sometimes on Black and Gold, like I said, sometimes you would get those weeks where it would go a 10-minute overrun. Sometimes it would go to a 90-minute broadcast, which obviously it was normally an hour. It was 60 minutes. So like I said, sometimes it would go an hour, sometimes it would go 55 minutes. It would kind of vary. And I'll say I like it as long as you don't, overuse it. If you're overusing time to put stupid shit on the show, and that's where the curse part comes in. If you set, we're going to go 2 hours this week, or if you say we're going to go 3 hours this week, and we have an hour of the show that's bullshit and stuff that nobody needed to see, that's where the curse part comes in a little bit, is what is WWE going to deem worthy and not worthy for television. But the good thing about that is I think we're going to find out what WWE deems worthy when they test out these 2 hours on USA Network coming up here in about a month. But I will say, I like it because if they set a 2-hour window, if you ever have more stuff you need to get through, they have the leeway to do a little more. Very similar to NXT, where, if you got an hour, but, we really got to get these 2 matches on the show, you can do it. And as long as it enhances the show, and as long as it makes sense, and you make sense, or you have things go over that makes sense to go over the runtime, I think it'll be fine, man. But like I said, if WWE goes over, if they say, we want to do 2 hours and 30 minutes this week, and your overtime is putting Final Testament Karrion Kross versus Otis on the show, then that's where the bad part of it comes into me. But otherwise, man, I'm messing with it, and I think, judging off what we've seen in Black and Gold, I think Triple H is going to use his overrun wisely, and I do think, if I'm making a prediction, I think Triple H is going to set the bar at 2 hours, because he's talked about in the past how annoying the 3rd hour of television is to write.
Oh, I'm sure it's such a pain in the ass because, you only have attention spans for so long, and 3 hours, that's a long movie, let alone you do that every week. That's pretty insane, man. But the flexible time can be very 50-50. I think I might just be scarred recently from AEW. I fucking hate the way they do it. Some episodes end at 9. some episodes 9 and then 9:05, 9:10, and half the time the main event fucking starts at like 8:55,
Yep.
and I'm just sitting there, and it's the most random nothing main event that's about to go over. And I don't know if that just scarred me, but I am scared for this. But I think it's because of the AEW scarring of me. Because now that you mentioned it, I forgot that NXT kind of did that. They would
Mm-hmm.
just end when it needed to end, and I
Yep.
really like that. And it can be really good, and I do trust Triple H. He is one guy that knows how to deal with time. You know,
Yeah.
not many people might like the 5 match pay-per-view card. I like it. I like the time. I like all that shit. So I think one of the things that Triple H always gets right is time. Pay-per-view times, show times, all that shit. Well,
Yeah.
besides maybe the occasional untold 2-hour pre-show that they fail to tell us about, but it's more of a fail of information
Yeah.
than the time itself. But it can be really good and it can be really risky. Don't want them to overdo it like AEW does, where every week it's a different time
Yes.
that
Yep.
the show ends. And because I do like a set show and end time, I like to most of the time know when it's going to start and know when it's going to end, because that's one thing I hate about a lot of modern TV that's like on these streaming services. One episode's 45 minutes, the next episode's an hour, the next episode after that is 30 minutes, and then each episode, and I hate that type of shit. I want a consistent start and end time overall. And I think with the occasional, overrun where you need to, I like that idea, and I think it could work. It's just risky. I think I'm a little scarred with Tony Khan, but I trust Triple H, and I think it could be really fucking good.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely, and two with Triple H, it really goes to show the difference between, or it really goes to show the difference in trust that I think the audience has in Triple H, and a guy like Tony is a guy like Triple H, and it's like, if you look at the current landscape of Monday Night Raw, like when NXT would do their overruns, you would get happy.
Mm-hmm.
You would say, "Oh man, we still got one more match. Yes, I still get to watch NXT for another half hour. Great. Amazing." You know what I mean? But then you look at, like I said, you look at what they do with the Dynamite overrun, where it almost seems like every single week
Mm-hmm.
your main event
Fucking
is starting at 9 o'clock. And it's just kind of
yeah.
like, the show has already been so fucking bad. You're sitting there like,
Oh,
I gotta
it's
watch
just
this shit for another 15 minutes. And what they put on is nothing sensational. What they're putting
no.
on in their main event is Jericho versus Ishii in an FTW rules match. And I'm sitting there like, are you fucking serious right now? Can I please move on with my day? But I think for Monday Night Raw, and the way he has Monday Night Raw, I think if they do go on an overrun ever, it's going to be something along the lines of like, oh shit, okay, there's an overrun this week, but we're getting to see Wyatt 6, or we're getting to see McIntyre and Punk do a promo, or we're getting to
Mhm.
see, a Braun Breaker match, or I think it'll be things of substance, and I think it'll be things that you're gonna want to stick around for. And like I said,
And
Triple H is I mean, he's done television time very well.
exactly, and with Triple H, you could do some cool, like, spur of the moment sneaky shit with that. Because, obviously you're on Netflix, you're not tied down to, cable slots where this thing gotta be next. When Raw's over, you'll just probably click off of Netflix and maybe even find something else after that. But they could do one thing, maybe the occasional week where the shows, Triple H hits his classic, all rights logo and the fucking in the corner. You think Raw's about to end, something crazy happens. Boom, you got more time to Raw. Didn't even
Yep.
expect it.
Yep.
You could do some really cool shit with that, especially when Triple H hits that fucking logo in the corner. You know something's about to happen. I think they could do the occasional shit like that, and that'll just make Raw even like imagine like obviously you'd be redundant to do it again, but I always bring up the Nexus, debut. Imagine something like that, with the way Triple H does it, the show's about to end. It hits the graphic in the corner, and then something like that just happens. Shit would be fucking crazy. That's the like, or even the Wyatt Six debut. If what we got happened, but as like a secret shock overrun to the show, they could do really
Yeah.
cool shit with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the Wyatt 6 debut, it's 8:52 or 9:52 and the lights are going out. And Jey
Hmm.
Uso's match is done. He's in the crowd celebrating. The show, what he's doing is done, but you're also looking at time and you're saying, oh, okay, well, something's going to happen because there's 8 minutes left in the show. They got a whole 8 minutes to run a whole nother segment if they wanted to. But imagine that happened at 9 o'clock. It happened at 9 o'clock. You play the All Rights logo. The camera starts to fade. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out and you start hearing this
Yeah.
piano play, and then
Hmm.
you see Wyatt's door with Brody's light spinning around, and here comes Nikki Cross, and then that would be epic. That would be epic. If they were to do stuff like that, or like the Ciampa and Gargano turn. Imagine something like on the level of that happens at 9 o'clock. You know what I
That
mean?
shit would.
Yeah, and like I said, it's at the top of the hour. You think something's about to end. Here's this tag team. They're standing on the ramp after they just lost their ladder match, and you think, oh, okay, it's 9 o'clock. The show's gonna end. Play the All Rights logo, and then he turns on them. Oh, psych! We got another 5 minutes to Monday Night Raw here. Here you go. Show's
Mhm.
not over yet. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Exactly. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, man. So that is that's that's the news on the runtime for Netflix. But as for the commercials on Netflix, man, according to the newsletter, there will be commercials on Netflix when WWE Raw arrives on the platform. One reason Netflix picked up Raw is they are working to incorporate commercials into their programming, and the pro wrestling audience is already accustomed to seeing ads
Oh,
during shows. Yeah. Um
damn right we are. Fucking hell.
however, Netflix will have more flexibility compared to the traditional television. They can adjust the timing and duration of commercial breaks without the need for the shows to adhere strictly to the second.
Not. I was first worried when I first, saw the title to that article, but now that I think about it, that I read it and I realize, it is Netflix. It's not normal cable. I'm not worried too much because they could put the commercials where WWE is good with putting the commercials. So it's not just gonna be, oh, picture in picture in this match. You got to put commercials time. Cable said it's time. No, said Netflix and WWE, or hey, we're having this match. We'll do the commercial after the match. I'm not worried too much about it. Um, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's still going to be better than what cable is now.
Yeah.
Literally, as long as it's not during a match, I don't care. That's the only thing I care about. Is I hate commercials during matches. Kills TV matches for me. As long as it's not during a match, I don't care.
Yeah, or if it is going to be during a match, or pick them wisely, and if it is during a big
Exactly.
match, pick the spot wisely. Do it in the beginning of the match. Don't do it when they're going through their ending sequence and these guys are trading off big moves on each other, and all of a sudden I'm watching a fucking ad for a Whopper and the fucking $5 meal. I mean, come on, man. And that pisses me off, man. That pisses me off when that stuff like that happens. I'm listening to I'm watching a banger TV match right here, and all of a sudden I hear Whopper, Whopper, Whopper. Like, are you fucking serious right now, man? I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. I mean, come on, dude. Or like, as long as you don't pull the Jack Perry, the guy sitting back in his fucking chair, and they're mid Wyatt 6 promo, and then all of a sudden you're Taco Bell, $7 Luke's Cravings box. Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, come on, man.
Legendary moment.
I don't want to hear, how did you feel when your brother died? How about come get the $5 biggie bag? I mean, come on. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff, man. Which I don't think we will. I don't think we'll dip down to the AEW production level of cutting Jack Perry's promo in the fucking middle. But I would like to see a cutback on commercials. But even if there's not, even
Just
if
space them
there's
correctly.
yeah, exactly. Even if there's not, I'm sure it'll be a lot less. Which again, this was I gotta say, this was a smart strategy from Netflix because wrestling fans are accustomed to ads during the
Oh, yeah.
shows. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
We are absolutely used to the old Burger King commercials or the Domino's try our New York thin crust. Like, I mean, we're used to all this stuff, bro. So yeah.
Wendy's pops up, square patties. Go to Wendy's for it, and it's just like fucking A, man. But we're used to commercials, and I'm sure because obviously Netflix is going to be obviously with Raw introducing a live element to their service, which they never done, and obviously Raw isn't going to end up being the only one. They're going to eventually add more and more, different things from, all over time that are live. So,
Mhm.
they're going to use, Raw as the test for how they're going to do commercials, how stable it's going to be. Very curious to see how it's all going to work. But I'm excited. I'm really not too worried about like any of these elements with this Netflix move, and I'm really excited, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. Like you said, man, yeah, well, I mean, we're very accustomed to watching ads during the shows, and overall, I think whatever the hell it is, I think it's going to be better than whatever we get
Yeah.
now, which is
Mhm.
just not good. What we get now,
Yeah.
man, is man. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, we are. When I say we're accustomed as wrestling fans, we are accustomed to endless commercials. I mean, we are accustomed to endless commercials, bro. I mean, yeah. So yeah, man, that is the news on Netflix and all their plans for the runtime of the show. And that is the plans for their commercial strategy for the show as well. To catch up on chat a little bit, my man Hunter asks, how will the streaming work on Netflix? They will not be tape shows. They will be
No.
live. They will just be,
Like,
on Netflix. So the same way NFL, I believe NFL does Peacock, or the same way NFL Jesus. The same way NFL does the same way NFL, I believe they do Peacock, or the same way Peacock did the Olympics and whatnot. So also, what up, Orlando Connor and my man Naysayers, bro? How are you, dude? Thank you for joining us, bro. I forgot to say what's up to you, dog.
what's up, guys? How you doing? But, yeah, it's definitely gonna. I'm interested to see how the UI is gonna work for Netflix. With their home. I'm sure when Raw is live, it's just gonna be big and bold on the home screen. Raw live right now. Very curious to see how that's gonna work and how just their live navigation works. Um, because bro, I don't have a cable box. I just use, the cable service and, the cable app. But before I had Xfinity, I had Dish. And with Dish, I had to use each channel's individual apps. Bro, some of those fucking apps were absolutely god awful. So as long as it's nothing like those individual apps, I think it's gonna be great.
That's good. That's good, man. So, well, from one WWE show to another, um, this was breaking as of the 7th, so about 6 days ago. I think it was Saturday this broke. Bleacher Report is reporting WWE is reportedly bringing back the SmackDown Fist stage design, which this came like, yeah, I think we talked about it on Friday, how we want these shows to have a specific stage incorporation, something to add a little more character to the stage of these shows, man. And well, it looks like WWE is bringing back the SmackDown Fist, bro. How do you feel about it?
It's interesting, man. I'm sure I would probably gone with something a little more original,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
I was
something.
just gonna get onto that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely have chosen something original. At least I hope they don't use the same exact fist from back in the day. At least make a new looking fist.
Yeah.
And then I'll be okay with it. But per preferably, I would have done something completely original. But they're not. I just hope they redesign the fist. But why not? I'm sure Brian Danielson's happy.
I'm sure he is, man. We all know Brian was a we all know Brian was a big fan of his fisting, man. We all know Brian loved his fisting, bro. So talking smack was goaded.
It's so good.
So with that, with that, so yeah, I do wish they would have went with something a little bit more to a little like the as great as the fist was. And I'm excited for the fist to come back. I am, but I hope they modernize. I think if they do any
Mhm.
sort of modern version of the fist logo, I think it'll work. I think it'll work.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it looks, maybe too a little, maybe if it looks, almost like a copy of the stage,
Yeah.
I would like for them to do something a little bit more original than that. But I will say, if they're able to modernize it, which I do not expect Triple H to, I don't expect Triple H to just completely copy what we got
No.
back in that era. But what I do think is I think he's going to modernize it. I think he's going to modernize it. I think it's going to be the fist, but I think it's going to be maybe a cleaner look to it. And overall, man, I'm really messing with it, man. I mean, this is what we were talking about. This is what we were talking about when it comes to when it comes to just unique stage designs. And I would like to see something for Raw as well, because we've got a lot of weird Raw stages. And I would like SmackDown is iconic with the fifth stage. I would like to see Raw also get something that is, you know,
Equally as
iconic.
kind.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
I would like to see Raw get some sort of iconic stage for themselves. Um
Exactly.
with some sort of
Exactly.
prop or something like that. But I like that they're bringing back the fifth stage, and I'm interested to see how they do it. Because, like I said, I do not want some sort of a carbon copy, and I would like something. We're already going with something that is, a bit of a blast from the past anyway. Which I really would like if they did something original. But if they're not going to, I love the fifth stage, and I just would like to see them modernize it a little bit. But overall, man, I'm just glad that we're finally getting to the point where unique stage designs for Raw and SmackDown are a thing again, and they are becoming a thing again, because these shows just needed these shows they need more character in the stage department. I mean the stage now, I like that it's downscaled. I did not like just a giant WrestleMania 35 type screen that they had. I did not like it. And then now obviously now it's a little downscaled, which I like better, but still it's just a screen. I need something with a little, I need something that exudes a little bit more personality to the show. You know what I mean? And I would like, if you bring back the fist, I would like to see SmackDown gain a little bit more of that, kind of just ruthless aggression type attitude to the show.
Be the more aggressive show in a way. That makes sense, man. But I like the idea of,
Yeah.
the fist coming back. I think it's a good idea. I just hope they, modernize it, make it look new, make it look just modern. Yeah, make it to whatever stage and logo you're making, man. But same thing with Raw. Give Raw something. Make them
Yep.
something that you could put and shape you could shape Raw around, and it'll be so much cooler and so much more identifiable.
And do not bring back the skateboard ramp stage.
You didn't like the skateboard ramp stage?
Hell no. Oh my god.
I didn't mind it.
It looked so weird, bro. I mean, it was something, but like we've had a lot of odd Raw stages. There was the skateboard ramp stage, and then there was another one that is just like, I don't know. It's just give it a little more personality. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a ramped screenboard. I mean, so that to me was just where it was kind of just, it was like, I don't know. They had another one I thought was really odd. I can't remember what it was though. I don't know. That era of WWE just does not seem. It just does not seem. I mean, well, I can't even say that for the SmackDown stage because at the time I really liked those prongs that they had on the SmackDown stage. I think those are really cool. But the Raw stage, man, I was not a fan of that. I was not a fan of that skateboard ramp stage. It just looked weird to me, man. It just looked odd. And then there was like the tiny hole off to the right where like the guys would come out of. It just, I don't know. It was an odd stage, bro. But anyways, speaking of SmackDown and speaking of this new era of SmackDown, WrestleVote is reporting the logo that we have attached in this tweet, which, if you guys haven't seen it by now, I mean, I've only played it for you twice by accident. If you guys haven't seen it by now, the logo attached in this tweet is potentially the new SmackDown logo, which was sent over anonymously and not denied by another source within the company. It's unclear whether the logo will debut tonight or if sometime in the fall or winter amidst other changes coming to WWE television. So as you can see, we have the logo here for Smack Sound.
Yeah, that's the only gripe with it.
So, what do you guys think about this, man? I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I think just looking at it, I think this could go well with a fist stage. But it kind of just, like, when I first seen this, I kind of just seen Smack Sound. Which, again, I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if that's just me or not, but I don't know, man. That's kind of that's kind of the vibe I was getting from. That's kind of the vibe I was getting from this SmackDown stage here. But how are you feeling about this, man?
I like the idea of it. I
Same.
like what they're trying to go for. I just think, like you said, it's like the S&D part of it that's not good. I like the colors. I like the shade of blue they're using. I like the black background in it. I like the silvery white, for the smack part of it. It's literally just that like overlapping S&D where it literally just looks like one big S for both words. That's my only gripe with it. Other than that, I really do like it. I think they just need to, change up that part. The S&D part, and I think they have a fucking phenomenal logo on their hands, but just that part that just throws you off every time. Or you, like you said, you just read a smack sound, you know what I mean? And it, like, I like it. I like it a lot. I think they just need to edit it a little bit for the SD part of it.
100%, man. Which, like I said, I think with the fist, I think this looks like a decent ass logo that they can use with, like I said, the fifth stage. I think it would go very well with it. But then again, if you look at the current SmackDown logo, that logo also kind of fits the fist as well. If I'm being 100% honest, I mean it's just got that old throwback SmackDown vibe. But the logo is nice. The logo is nice. The logo. That's what I'm saying, naysayers, bro. When I first seen this logo, I was like, Smack Sound. And I was like, and then I read that this could actually be the logo. I was like, oh, that's something. I was like, okay. But No, I mean, when I first seen it, that's what I seen, and now I can't unsee it. Smack sound. So I think it's nice. I think it's nice, but like Naysayer says, man, I think it's just a little basic. I think it's a little basic, man. But overall, I think it's a good logo. I think it's a good logo. It's just a little basic, in
Yeah.
that regard. But they do say here it's unclear whether the logo will debut tonight or sometime in the fall or winter. I could absolutely see this going into effect when Raw goes to Netflix to give just a whole new WWE vibe type of thing.
Exactly. I could definitely see that. And I could see them taking that time from now to then to edit the logo to really perfect it. Because I'm sure they see the online reaction to most everybody saying Smack Sound, so I think
Oh, do
they're
they
gonna
really?
edit it. Oh, dude, that's what I saw a lot of on Twitter. It was just people, just that S&D part where it looks like it says Smack Sound.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. I shit you not, bro. I didn't even see anybody else's tweets. I just load up Twitter, and that was the first thing I seen was that logo, and I just said to myself, "Smack sound." I was like, "All right," but that's funny. That's funny that other people are feeling the same way. So speaking of Smack sound, they could potentially be getting a new theme song for the show. Oh, to be honest, bro, I don't even. I mean,
I don't even know what the turn is.
I was gonna say, I know Monday Night Raw's is. I think it's Born for Greatness. I think I'm
Damn,
pretty sure it's
still.
Born for Greatness. So my man Hunter, bro, I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of the Jimmy Uso agenda. I'm seeing that. Seeing that he will. I'm seeing he will be returning tonight, man. So that's interesting stuff, bro. Interesting stuff for sure. I'm excited to see what they do with the story. But anyways, so Monday Night Raw, I'm pretty sure their song is still Born for Greatness. I think that's what it's called. But I genuinely could not tell you what the SmackDown song was, and that is not a good thing. Um,
No.
because when I was younger, I could tell you, or maybe if I don't remember the songs, once I heard them, I would know the lyrics. Um, is that not the theme song anymore? Or it's like, isn't it still greatness? Yeah, it feels like greatness. Isn't that the Raw song? I thought
I
it
think
was
it's
called
not
Born
like
for
that.
Greatness. Or I don't know. Isn't that the name of Brian Danielson's theme song? When uh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
that's hilarious.
Whatever the song is called, I know it. I know those are the lyrics. I don't know. It might not be Born for Greatness, but I know it's the that one. But um, so I couldn't even tell you what the song, or I couldn't even recite to you the song of SmackDown, which again is sad because most of the SmackDown theme songs from my era, again, if I don't know the name of them, if I heard them, I could probably start singing the lyrics within a matter of within the matter of minutes or seconds rather. But as for the Raw songs, I know majority of the Raw songs. But anyways, so it looks like WWE SmackDown is set for a significant shakeup as the show moves to the USA Network on September 13th. One of the most talked about changes is the highly anticipated debut of a new theme song. For the last
Mm,
3 years, SmackDown has been introduced by Nobody Better Than Me. Oh yeah, that is the song of SmackDown. Oh god, that is awful song.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Okay, so it's introduced by Nobody Better Than Me, a song by Def Rebel featuring
Mhm.
Supreme Madness. That is what that song is, Supreme fucking Madness. Um, but the fans can expect a fresh sound starting tonight. SRS of Fightful has reported that WWE has opted to move away from using in-house music production teams like Def Rebel or CFO, who, who have provided themes for the company in recent years. The new theme song will come from a legit artist. Well, I'll say this. SmackDown did have a legit artist recently It was that AC/DC or was that Kid Rock? The Are
I
You
think
Ready
there was
for a
two.
Good Time?
There was a Kid Rock, and I think there was a AC/DC.
Fuck.
I
Would
I think AC/DC was Ready for a Good Time. I
that
forgot what the Kid Rock one was. I remember the Kid Rock one was fucking horrible.
I remember the Kid Rock one for WrestleMania 34 absolutely made me want to blow my fucking brains out every time I heard the song. But I thought there was a Kid Rock song for SmackDown too. Or the recent era of SmackDown. If it was me, I would go back to using the beautiful people, but hey, I know they're not going to go back, and I'm sure that song's got a lot more expensive since the last time they used it. But man, that AC/DC, Are You Ready for a Good Time? Holy shit, that was
That shit
bad.
was ass, dude.
That
That
was
shit was so bad.
I hated that song. I hated that song, man. But so though no specific details or names have been revealed yet, WWE has been working with a ton of artists in recent memory, including Electric Callboy and Baby Metal, who provided Ratatata Ratatata as I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if
Rat
I
with wings, what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know, Ratalata or so they provided the song for Bash in Berlin, which actually from what I remember was pretty good. Um
Pretty solid.
it was so funny hearing Wade Barrett announce the theme song for the show. Tonight's official theme song for the show, Ra ta 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 ta. Dude, that was
Big
great.
dog.
The shift marks a significant change in the brand's musical identity as WWE looks to refresh the SmackDown image on its new network. The change could be a welcomed one, and we should keep an eye out. We should keep an eye out for. We should keep an eye out for the response. Yeah, it was AC/DC's "Are You Ready?" Um, Let me see. Marilyn Manson's The Beautiful People. Green Day's Know Your Enemy. Oh, I remember that one. Yep, that one. Yeah, that one was early 2010s. That one was a good one. I like that one. Um, what was your favorite SmackDown song of all time? Everybody in chat, put your favorite SmackDown and Raw song of all time.
That's tough, dude.
Because
That's really tough.
I think for me, SmackDown, no question, without a doubt. There's been a lot of good ones, but it's The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. I mean, that is just that man. Very, oh God, Manson is very good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of his music is very good. And I think for Raw, I think mine will probably go to Papa Roach. To Be Loved.
Hmm. Give me one. Let me
Man,
look. I know it. I just gotta get the name of it. Uh, Across the Nation. That's my favorite Raw one. Um, I'd probably say, and for SmackDown, might have to be Know Your Enemy.
yeah, that one was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yes, the Nickelback one was.
Oh,
Why can't I think about how that one? I feel like I know it. I can't think of how it goes though. Yes. To Be Loved, bro. To Be Loved by Papa Roach was a fucking banger, bro. That was a banger. I'll never forget. I think it was. I think it was. SVR 2010. I think that
mhm.
one had To Be Loved as the Raw intro for the Road to WrestleMania mode. And when I tell you, I spent so many hours on my Wii playing the Road to WrestleMania on SVR 2010. Holy shit. I mean, it was a lot of hours. And dude, I love that one. Yeah, so I think mine will probably definitely go to The Beautiful People for SmackDown and then To Be Loved by Papa Roach for Raw.
Definitely. I respect it.
So, yeah, man, looks like they're looking at a legitimate artist and that I'm happy for. That I'm happy for, because the in-house music that is made by Def Rebel, the ones by CFO were okay, but they were nothing. They were not.
Special.
Yeah, they were exactly. They were nothing special. In all honesty, man. But I'm glad they're moving on to different artists. I which WWE's actually been doing a pretty good job with the show. Triple H has actually been doing a really good job at finding these bands that I've never heard of, at least, to do these to do these um
Mm-hmm.
pay-per-view theme songs. So SmackDown Live, I can't remember how that one goes either. Is that the 2016 SmackDown one? I can't think of how that one goes for the life of me. And once I hear it, I'll be like, oh yeah, but man. Yeah, I can't remember that one. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. WWE, they uh, for I know it's cheaper. I know, and they're cheap, but I could never understand for the longest time why they moved away from that stuff, bro. I could never understand why they moved away from using legitimate artists, because I know damn well they can afford legitimate songs.
Literally. Fucking makes no sense, dude.
We got another To Be Loved. We gotta let it roll. So, hey, understood, Bill. Understood. Yeah, I totally understand, for sure. Definitely. But yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, but so it looks like SmackDown is going to be getting a new theme song, and it looks like they're going back to a legitimate artist, and I hope it's not anything to the quality that we got from AC/DC, because God, oh,
That shit
that
was ass, dude.
that SmackDown song was traumatizing. And when I tell you it was traumatizing, I mean it was already bad enough. The world was going through a pandemic. Every fucking Friday before we did the original episodes of the Notorious Heels podcast, I just had to hear that shit song every week, and I hate that song, man. I hate it with a passion.
So bad.
Oh, that song is just one of the worst things that was ever created. That song is pure shit. And you know what, too? Going into WrestleMania 34, I'll never forgive Vince McMahon for that Kid Rock song. That Down in New Orleans song. Oh my God. Oh, you know what I was thinking about earlier, bro? This is one of Sir K's favorite all-time pay-per-view songs. Extreme Rules 2022, when they did when they did Astronaut in the Ocean. Oh God. That was bad, bro. Oh,
That song was horrible on TikTok, and then that fucking company
dude.
used their godforsaken pay-per-view theme. Oh man, that shit was horrible.
That's
I
why
was so angry.
That's why I hate when TikTok does that kind of stuff, because I'll download a song that I hear, I'm like, oh, this shit's good. I hear it too much on TikTok, then I tell myself I gotta delete it for now and add it back in like a year or so when nobody's playing this shit anymore, because then I can actually enjoy it. Because oh my God, it's horrible. It's horrible, man. But yeah, that was so bad, man. That was so bad. Actually, they are. They are. I think next year is Travis Scott for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think it's for their main theme for me. At least that's what's been on the Mania ad, so I hope that's the theme for Mania.
It is. It is. As long as Triple H is out there performing the song, I'll be okay with it. I just need to hear a live performance by Triple H. I need to hear him sing Fiend.
That shit will be hilarious.
So,
We're doing the Jews.
oh man,
Hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So that's the news on SmackDown and all their changes that they got coming up. Changes they got for the logo, the stage, the theme music. It's going to be a complete overhaul, as well as Monday Night Raw, and I'm assuming Monday Night Raw is going to follow suit when we get over to you know what? The Weeknd is dropping a new album, and they usually do 2 songs for WrestleMania. They should do Not Like
during the
Us.
weekend always.
They should do it aimed at Double or Nothing.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna make the joke earlier that should be the SmackDown theme, but
Oh God.
it should.
Yeah, there you go.
It should be good.
They Not Like Us. They Not Like
They're
Us
not.
over there at AEW.
Exactly.
Um.
They're really not.
So yeah, man, that's the news on SmackDown. That's the news on Monday Night Raw, and that's the news on the whole entire overhaul of WWE production. And I'm so glad we're getting a production overhaul, man. I'm so glad we're getting a production overhaul because it is just sorely needed. It is sorely needed, and just something fresh logos, fresh this, fresh that, fresh everything is very needed for these shows, man. And I'm excited to see what they do. Another thing I like about the SmackDown logo, the Smack Sound logo is you guys can see, I'll play for you guys one more time. I like the darker blue. Because as we've been accustomed to the kind of lighter blue and white for a while, I like that we're kind of going back to the darker blue and black with the touch of white instead of just the white and the blue. I like it a lot, actually.
Definitely. I really like that shade of blue.
Speaking of WWE and all their changes, we got news on... Oh, okay. My bad. I thought I was seeing an article that AEW All Access was coming back. I was like, oh, brother. So, anyways, false alarm. They just put an image of the All Access logo in an article for some reason. But anyways. Speaking of WWE, man, and all their changes, according to Goldman Sachs.
That's an unfortunate name.
Golden Sachs or Sachs Technology Conference. TKO president Mark Shapiro states WWE will be cutting down on live events even more next year, and explains taking on less of the marginally profitable events. He says what we're doing is cutting events at WWE. So we're taking our marginally profit events, untelevised events that Vince had put in place to grow the brand, right? You're taking the show on the road, and we got to go to every city. We can get to grow the WWE brand. Well, the WWE brand, while we still have to grow it, it is on fire right now. So we do not need to carry these marginally profitable events. So that was 300 events last year. What will be roughly 250 this year, and next year it will be close to 200. Wow. This, yeah. Say it one more time for the people in the back.
Dude. Holy fuck, is that good? Bro, that live event system was so ass. That was literally one of the main reasons so many people signed with AEW instead of WWE, was because of their fucking live event system that they had to fucking work. No one likes it. It's a horrible system. With the amount that they do, occasional live events I think can be fine, but dude, fucking having to do 3 or 4 a week is absolutely insanity. And I'm really glad that they're stopping and slowing down tremendously.
100%. And two, Vince's mindset of was, well, we need to grow the brand. First of all, when Vince was in charge, your brand was dead. Nobody gave a shit. People were hardly coming out to these shows. You know, obviously they're WWE, so they have that name value. You're not growing the brand by doing untelevised shows. Okay? You're not growing. Nobody's saying, no non-wrestling fan that's trying to get into the product is going to be like, let's go to the fucking house show over there in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. Nobody's saying that. You know what I mean? If somebody is new to the product, they're going to say to themselves, yo, when's the next time Raw? When's the next time SmackDown? When's the next time Survivor Series is going to be in Chicago? Let's go to that. Because I want the most of experiences for the WWE programming. But you don't need to go around. You don't need to go from town to town 460 days out of the year, 500 days, 600 days out of the year, and work all these matches and all these shows. You got, guys. You got guys working a house show at noon, driving to the next house show at 8 o'clock. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what is that? I mean, dude, and again, that is a lot of the reason why these guys, a lot of these guys, when it ended up going to AEW, is because the WWE schedule is so rigorous and it's so just down and dirty with the schedule to the point where this is why a lot of people did end up going to AEW. So the lesser, the better. And also, the more you lower these, dude, the more it's going to make your big events in these markets sought after.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. When you're doing a bunch of little live events all over, that city might not care to the people in that city might not care to go to anything. So, well, the pay-per-view sounds fun, but I've been to like fucking 2 or 3 live events recently, and I think I'm okay. They won't be doing that because they'll be wanting a show to go to.
Exactly. So people are going to pay their $40 to go to the live event or whatever. They're going to pay their $40 to go to that. And if you take that away from them, it does suck for the fans, I guess. But it is smart on WWE's part. I was never really interested in going to a house show anyway. Personally, I would rather just save up and go to the show that's televised. But it is smart by WWE. I mean, house shows are fun. Don't get me wrong. I just personally wouldn't probably wouldn't go to one unless it was like $20 and I had like absolutely nothing to do that day. But so it is smart of WWE because the fans that are sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to go to Survivor Series. I'm going to wait till they come to Springfield, Illinois to do their live event. I'll just pay $20 for it. Now they're taking that away from you. So now you kind of have no choice but to, I guess, come to, the big show and save up your money till you can come to the pay-per-view. So it is smart by WWE, I guess, but it does suck for the fans and like Naysayer says, him and his kids. I'm sure it'll be a lot cheaper to go to the live event than to go to Survivor Series when you got, kids to take and stuff like that. So that does suck for the fans aspect of it, but I guess it is smart by WWE, but like I said, it does suck for fans and for just certain situations. So it does suck for sure, but WWE, man, WWE, they and also too, not to mention another reason why this is so good is because of the injury factor. You're going to be able to preserve a lot of people. Vince McMahon, which is funny, Vince McMahon loved people that had longevity. Meanwhile, this guy was having these fucking guys on the road 800 days out of the year, and then he had the nerve to complain when people got injured, or he had the nerve to give up on people when people got injured. Well, maybe they wouldn't be injured if you guys are... If you guys... maybe they wouldn't be injured if you guys weren't on the road... all year round. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was incredibly two-faced by Vince McMahon, and Triple H knows Triple H knows all these live events suck, and there's no points, and there's half the time there's no point to doing. Now again, doing a couple out of the year, okay, but dude, to do 300 live events out of the year, I mean, come on, man.
Insane, bro.
That is insane. On top of the travel days and on top of the live show dates that they have to do, which is probably, well, obviously 52 a year for most people, plus maybe some extra SmackDowns or Raws they might be on, plus pay-per-views. You're working all year. Like we were just watching a Dark Side of the Ring where Big Boss Man's wife Bam Bam Bigelow's wife was talking about she's seen him 5 days out of the year. What the fuck?
That's insane,
5
bro.
days.
That is no way to live, man.
She would talk about, and then the 5 days he was home, he was just sleeping because the guy was tired. And Triple H knows too, not only does this increase longevity, do you know how many wrestlers were addicted to painkillers because this rigorous schedule took such a toll on their bodies and on their life? This is something I'm glad is going away. And I would actually like to see it get even shorter than almost to about 150, 100. I would like to see it get even shorter than that because this schedule, again, it's fucked up. It's not for the faint of heart, bro. And to increase longevity, it's the best way to do it.
100%. I think it is. I think it's the best way to do it. And I'm really glad that they're scaling them back. I think it's way better for everybody involved.
Definitely, man. So that is the news on WWE's live event schedule, man. And speaking of more WWE shows, Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. According to the Milwaukee Business Journal, Sports Milwaukee is putting together a bid for WWE's Money in the Bank for 2025. The event would likely be held at the Fiserv Forum, which is obviously where the Bucks play. This same exact weekend last year, I got to see the Fiserv Forum, and it is a beautiful place. It is actually, from the outside, it is a stunning fucking arena. It is beautiful at nighttime.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. This is a bit odd considering WWE's mainly been going to like international events for Money in the Bank, so it's a bit odd that we're seeing Money in the Bank. I mean, they don't have to accept the bid, obviously, but it seems as if Milwaukee is putting together a bid for the show. But it makes you wonder if it makes you wonder. So if SummerSlam is normally a US show and Money in the Bank is normally an international show, if Money in the Bank goes to the US, does SummerSlam go international?
I could see it.
And even if they accept this bid, then it probably makes it a little bit more obvious that WWE may be going to London or Wembley or somewhere international for Money in the Bank. So I guess it even kind of sparks those rumors of an international SummerSlam up a little bit more. Milwaukee was trying to get a Royal Rumble. I do not know what happened. I can't remember if that was that supposed to be 2025? Let me see.
I think it might have been.
Yeah, so back in April, they were in talks to hold the possibility of holding a future Royal Rumble 2026. They could potentially host the Rumble in 2026. So not 2025. Yeah. So the Milwaukee's Rumble was going to be 2026, but I guess they're trying to get both. WWE's probably not going to go to both of them, unless they chose something. Because isn't next year's Rumble in Indianapolis?
I think it is.
Um, Yes. Yep. Indianapolis is the Rumble next year. So, yeah, it looks like 2026 is going to be Milwaukee, but they're throwing their name in the hat for Money in the Bank. So, I guess Milwaukee's really trying to get their fair share of WWE, and I doubt WWE does both of them. They don't like to return to venues too soon after for pay-per-views. So they don't like to return too soon after, and I feel like if they were to pull up in July, they would not go back 6 months later for another big pay-per-view. I don't think they're looking at Milwaukee as that big of a market for WWE, but I mean, doesn't hurt to try, I guess, but it will remain to be seen if they get it or not.
It is. It's intriguing, and it could be very telling to see where other pay-per-views are going that summer.
What? Oh my God, bro.
Okay.
Naysayer says tickets are so high now. My wife and I looked at WrestleMania tickets in Vegas, $3,500 for 2 nosebleed seats.
I did see the War Games ones. There were like 1,000 for nosebleeds.
Oh,
I
there's
think
some
one was like
motherfuckers.
1,200 for
Oh, no.
nosebleeds.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
yeah. Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, we might have to sneak in, bro. I can't lie. Yeah, we might have to. I might have to dress up as security or something, start walking around with a first phone or some shit.
Let it out, steal from work, and use it there.
Man, that is 700 to 1,000 for nosebleed tickets. That is something.
That's insane. They gotta stop that shit.
Yeah. Good old WWE. Greedy ticket prices, man. Like I said, it was in the thumbnail. It was in the thumbnail later this summer, Sam. I was gonna say we might have to bring a TV and fucking watch it from out in the parking lot and tailgate the event because Lord,
have to, man.
that is
Holy shit.
That is just crazy work, bro. I genuinely might have to sneak in as security. Security for US Bank Stadium. Yeah, we genuinely might have to walk in with US Bank Stadium staff shirts because that's crazy work. That is crazy work. 700 to 1,000 for nosebleeds. So when you say 3,500, what would that be? So that would be like 1,750 a piece. And that is that for both nights, or is that just is 3,500 for one night? So 7,000 for 2 nights. Because if that's the case, they got me all types of fucked up.
Well, is that the case? I ain't never going to WrestleMania, bro. I better be
Golly.
rich as fuck.
Dude.
Like, dog.
I
Yeah, I gotta get into that, but
was gonna say,
so I'm seeing a video on Twitter now. It's of someone in the current SmackDown arena tonight, and they're using what looks like that new logo, or at least a version of it.
really, Smack Sound.
SmackDown, and there's a lot of it where it's just the SD just around, where it looks like you're just a big ass. I'm not a fan. I'll send it to you, but this is
Please do.
not a fan.
Yeah, man. So that is that. That is that, man. That is the Money in the Bank Milwaukee rumors of them putting in a bid, man, or I guess them officially putting in a bid. So did you send this on Twitter or?
I sent that on Twitter.
Okay. Okay, well, oh yeah. Okay, well, there's no fist. Yeah, it looks
It's just like S over.
It looks like they're using the SmackDown arena. That's something. That'll take some getting used to.
Oh, 30 minutes commercial free tonight. Bet that's gonna be where The Rock comes in.
Funnable.
The
One
fucking boss.
man, 1,500 for 2 nights. I mean, I guess
That's not crazy.
that's kind of what I
6
expected. But if you got kids, my
Yeah.
man, I'm sure that price just
Oh, I'm sure it's just
you know,
fucking
you got
piles.
yeah. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, man, that's something, bro. That is something. That's crazy work. That is crazy work, bro. Yeah, we might have to sneak you in, dog. We might have to sneak you in, get you some Allegiant Stadium staff shirts, and have you just fucking walk through the tunnel with some fake credentials. But yeah, man. So
Oh,
that's
yeah, dude.
what's up.
I'm looking at the Survivor Series pick now. Dude, section 308, roll 3, $1,400. Basically $1,500.
How much do the 100 levels fucking cost?
Uh, I have no clue. Fucking hell. That is
We might have got our
insane. That's a crime.
we might have got our WWE tickets right in time because our Survivor Series tickets were 400.
You are right. No, literally, for
So
good ass seats.
they were really good
Fuck
seats, yeah.
no.
But man, yeah, that's crazy. That's just craziness, dude. It really is. So anyways, speaking of war games, man. So, according to let's see. All right. Russell Insides reports that is an odd name, that WWE War Games Survivor Series 2024 in Canada, the initial plan of the War Games matches are, which the one is obvious, the other one's kind of obvious, but this is the first time that we're officially hearing it, I guess. The men's is obviously OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline, and the women's is Team Liv Morgan versus Team Rhea Ripley.
I heard that I also heard that Raquel might be coming back like next week or something.
I did hear
That might be a possibility.
Yes.
So I'm sure that's going to be the start to it.
And she is friends with Liv, but I don't know if they're going to play up to her being real life best friends with Rhea.
Yeah, they might like switch. She might switch up on Liv and join Rhea's team.
Because I was seeing maybe like Rhea, Jade, Bianca on that team, and then Liv Morgan's team will have heels like the PFC, or I don't know who they would have in mind. But it should be interesting. Obviously, OG Bloodline versus Timu Bloodline is gonna be pretty badass. But that's obviously like everybody's been anticipating that ever since the beginning of, or ever since like The Rock came in. People were anticipating a bloodline civil war. And then Team Liv versus Team Rhea obviously makes the most sense in the women's division to do theirs out of. So yeah, man, that's the news. Actually, WWE is no longer going with the red and blue theme for Survivor Series either, man. They're going back to that silver. So it looks nice, man. It looks nice.
Exactly. I like that. I like that a lot. I think the logo looks good. And obviously the possible matches, Bloodline v Bloodline.
What?
The fuck?
Hey,
Wait, you know what? What the fuck I was talking about? What?
And Logan says AEW is doing a halftime, a match at the halftime of the Jaguars game on Sunday, and it's a Lucha Libre thing. The match is Hologram and Sammy Guevara versus Matt Taven and the Beast Mordas. Oh, brother.
How is it lucha themed when there's only one fucking luchador in there? Sammy Guevara. He's not a fucking luchador. You got fucking Beast Mordos, Beast Tardis, and Matt
Taven. Matt Taven is my favorite luchador, I gotta say. He really just exudes. When I see Matt Taven, I just think luchador. So
What
I
are they
get
gonna
that
do?
one.
Wheel around? Like, how are they doing?
Bet
Like what?
Belle with the comment of the year. It's the only time I'll ever give her flowers. Is
Is
TK
TK?
okay, bro?
No, he's not. I don't think he's
What?
been okay for years. Not since fucking CM Punk.
Way to get eyes on the AEW product. Let's put like 3 out of 4
Oh,
talents that nobody fucking knows.
oh, 4 out of 4 that fucking no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah.
Who the dude? What a bad look for wrestling to see fucking football fans see Beast Mortos, see a big motherfucker in furry gear. Yeah, that's gonna make pro wrestling look really good. And that's the thing. Logan says, he guessed Taven is Puerto Rican, but it's a lucha match. It's not a Mexican match. Just because you're Mexican doesn't mean you're a lucha. Like, what?
I guess it's a Hispanic match, I guess.
Dude, that's gotta be the worst fucking thing ever.
Oh,
What a fucking
100%. If he used Ricochet, Osprey, Takeshita, Okada,
like get some eyes,
Jack
maybe. But
Perry, MJF. Obviously, MJF is hurt, but like, if he used anybody else, it would probably be a better decision. Darby Allin. I feel like people would really love just to take Darby Allin. Nope. You pick hologram Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara pulled to Orton. Sammy Guevara, Beast Mordo, and Matt fucking Taven. You gotta be kidding me, man. What the fuck, dude? Beast Mordo and Matt Taven. Tag team of the year right there. I gotta put them in the nominee list for tag team of the year.
like, bro, what? Someone's gotta been lacing his coke or something, man, because that shit is insane.
That's crazy work. That is crazy work. God. So yeah, that's the news for Survivor Series, bro. That's the news for Survivor Series, man. Speaking of Survivor Series, we got one of the guys that is said to be performing in the Survivor Series match, and he's been advertised for Survivor Series, Roman Reigns. It is going around that Roman Reigns' WWE contract is set to expire in 2025. Well, speaking of AEW, guys, is he going? Are we going to see Joe Envoi on AEW Shockwave? Is he going to be in the Moxley disgruntled WWE group? I don't know, man. I think so. Is Roman going to be with Shane? Or is he going to side with the Elite?
I hope he sides with fucking Nick Khan and Triple H.
Is he going to side with the Beast Mordos and Matt Taven?
No, Beast Mordos and Matt Taven. That is legendary, dude. That's like fucking putting Kane and fucking James Ellsworth as a tag team for a random event. It's like, what the fuck?
What in the world, bro? What in the fucking world, dude? That's dead ass like putting the Fiend in a tag team with Mike Bennett back in 2019. Like, bro, what?
What are you doing?
Oh God. Anyways, Roman Reigns seems like his contract's set to expire. He's obviously going to sign another sweet deal with WWE, and he's going to be set for life, bro. Roman obviously is not going anywhere.
Bro's kids are set for life, man, and
Literally.
and you're about to add another generation.
I was gonna say, with that generation, their whole bloodline is probably just fine forever. None of them ever have to work. None of them ever have to get up off the fucking couch. If they wanted to, they're straight.
Literally, like, dude, that shit was in that family is made, man.
No question. Oh, I forgot that was his name in WWE. I totally forgot that. That's funny. Anyway, moving on to some more bloodline stuff. All right. There are rumors going around that reportedly Cody Rhodes will be defending the WWE Championship at Bad Blood. October 5th against Jacob Fatu. And there are nasty rumors going around that Triple H, reportedly, this match was supposed to be Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, but Triple H heard the complaints. He heard the complaints from fans saying that Cody and Solo was not a pay-per-view match. They did not want to see it. So he moved the match to SmackDown. And there are other nasty rumors going around that these comments were made by wrestle purists. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't know how true this is, which is why we're going to talk about them as hypotheticals. There are nasty rumors going around that Triple H thinks Solo Sikoa is, and I quote, kind of bad. But they cannot stop his push because Roman Reigns will not allow them to just bury his cousin. So, to address the Solo stuff, because again, there's a great chance that it is not true, and it is just rumors. Again, these comments were made by wrestle purists on their podcast, and again, I don't know if I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. If Triple H thinks Solo is kind of bad, you're the one having him dress up like The Weeknd. All you had to do was make him the street champ and present them how you presented those three in NXT, and that group would be a badass street version of the Bloodline.
They'd be all so fucking legit, dude. It'd be insane. If that is true, Triple H is pulling what I hate that bookers do the most. Book someone like shit, make them look stupid, and then blame it on them. If that is true, he's stupid for doing that, man. But I mean, I do love the idea of Jacob Fatu, Roman pay-per-view. I think that is the better match anyway.
Oh,
so
God.
I would put it on pay-per-view, but Triple H has to start treating Solo accordingly and better.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, look at how those guys showed up in NXT. And I hear a lot of people saying, oh, they're so much better without Solo, they need to get rid of Solo. No, they don't. All they have to do is have Solo act like them. All they need to do is have Solo be the street champ like he was, and again, make a street thug version of the Bloodline. And that...
all they need to do.
It literally would be great. Solo had so much aura when he was the enforcer of the Bloodline. It was sickening how much aura this man had. When Roman would yell Solo, you just knew shit was absolutely about to hit the fan. And again, a lot of people are saying, you know, well, they look so much better without Solo. It's like, dude, no. Oh, I mean, Solo would look, I mean, they did, and that's because they're having Solo dress up like The Weeknd and have him go out there dressing up in velvet red slacks. And like, what are you doing?
Pillow shirts, like, dude, what are you got him wearing, bro?
He's wearing 2 chains and an Ulafala. He looks like a fucking moron. Like, dude, he's got Fiend gloves. He's got Eazy-E gloves on for God knows what reason. And it's like, what is he gonna give me, a mandible claw? Is he gonna fucking start busting down straight out of Compton for me? Like, what is he about to fucking do? I mean, I don't know, man, but again, people bringing up the argument of, oh, they look so much better without Solo. It's like, yeah, because they need to have Solo act like them. And I don't know why they didn't make a legit street champ, street thug, whatever they want to call them or refer to them as, version of the Bloodline. That is what would work. Not this, you know, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights fucking version of Solo Sikoa. He's out there, like, what are we doing? I mean, I don't get it, man. But again, if Triple H thinks he's kind of bad, Triple H fucked him up, if that's the case, if those rumors are true. As for Jacob Fatu, then there was some other nasty rumors going around that Jacob got into it with Triple H, and then Rikishi had to shoot those down and say, like, what? Like, I don't even know where these people get this kind of shit from, bro. But yeah, there was those rumors going around. If Triple H had a beef with Jacob Fatu, do you think Jacob Fatu would be booked the way he's
Be
been
on
booked?
TV. It would be on TV in the first place.
This man, I don't care what anybody says, do you think Triple H would book him as top priority? And yes, top priority of the bloodline if he did not like him? The answer is no.
Oh,
Or if he thought he was disrespectful. I mean, get out of here with that shit, man. People just trying to shit on the guy's run. I mean, come on. Get out of here. However,
literally.
Jacob and Cody, this is absolutely the right move. This is the pay-per-view match that everybody wants to see. Everybody loves the Samoan Werewolf. The man is a dog, and everybody wants to see him in high-profile matches. This fucking guy is a WWE champion, bar none, bro. He's got it.
Oh, he's got it all, man, and I'm glad that they recognize it with him.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, he's not going to win the title now, but putting him in these situations now, so he can be ready when it's time. That's awesome. And that's the thing. That's the thing that pissed me off when I heard those rumors. I didn't believe them when I first seen him, but all we've heard about Jacob, people love him. They're impressed with him. Everybody loves his demeanor and his attitude. Everybody gets along with him. And then you just have mindless idiots that just, again, spew ridiculousness that he's disrespectful to Triple H. I mean, again, do you think Triple H would make him top priority in the new bloodline if he deemed him as disrespectful and a crash out? And get out of here, people.
Literally.
But anyways, this is absolutely the right match, and if this is the case, and if this is going to take place at Bad Blood, which I think it is because Cody's from Atlanta, there's obviously no way he gets left off the show. This match is going to be spectacular, and I could see, Jacob will lose. Either it'll be by DQ, or it will be by Roman Reigns costing him the match, or Jimmy Uso costing him the match, or somebody along those lines. Obviously, Jacob will lose, but this guy's a future WWE champion, and I'm glad that we would be getting him in these kind of situations for when he is ready.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Exactly, because like CM Punk said many, many, many years ago, NHL hockey players get better by training with NHL hockey players. And Jacob Fatu being in that main event scene, it's only going to make him get better because he's going to be playing with the highest of the high in this business.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. I honestly thought we would get maybe some version of like Roman and Jimmy versus Solo and Jacob. I thought we would get that at Bad Blood. And then obviously I thought maybe we would get something along the lines of like Cody and Orton, but obviously I think it's obviously a little too late to start building to Cody and Orton. So that's off the table, but it looks like we're getting Cody Rhodes versus the Samoan Werewolf, bro, Jacob Fatu. So, that sounds epic, and I think these two are going to tear it the fuck up. And if Jacob hasn't already showed you why he's a star, put this man in a WWE Championship match, and he's going to show you why he is a future WWE champion.
Exactly.
Again, if he hasn't already showed you by now, because that man is a dog of all dogs, bro. So, those are a bunch of the just nasty and, in my opinion, wildly untrue rumors of all the bloodline stuff going around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about Roman Reigns' contract, man, so let's talk about somebody else's deal. That being Cedric Alexander. According to Fightful Select, Cedric has signed a new deal with WWE. This is a bit unfortunate because I fully expected him to go reunite with, it seems like they're calling themselves the Hurt Syndicate, the Hurt Business.
I like that. It's interesting. Did not expect that from both sides, if I'm being honest.
I didn't either.
I really didn't. And I mean, I guess Cedric will see what he'll do in WWE. Who knows what it could be?
Definitely, man. Probably nothing, which is why I do not understand that whatsoever. Unless he's going to be in some sort of backstage role. I genuinely I honestly thought they were going to reunite the whole entire Hurt Business, but
Thought they were.
I guess I guess not. I guess not.
Mm-mm.
Which is a bit unfortunate, but they can. I mean, there's people. There's people in AEW. I mean, we'll get to them in a little bit, but there's definitely people in AEW they can add if they did want another member, a young guy, in the group. But speaking of another, well, speaking of a potential return, I guess Wade Barrett is medically cleared, and his in-ring return for one last run is very possible in the future, according to multiple sources. Look, man, if that's what Wade wants, then that's what Wade should get. Wade deserves it. He deserves one final run, and they're setting up a pretty nice story with him and Drew McIntyre, and they actually got something, and they have something just genuine brewing. And it's going to be a byproduct of the CM Punk stuff. And it's going to spiral into something else for Drew. And I even mentioned this on Monday's Unscripted. I said, you know, what's next for Drew McIntyre after this Punk feud? Because I genuinely had no idea. But I had mentioned he kind of got into it with Wade Barrett a little bit. And I could absolutely see that spiraling into a feud if Wade does want to make a return to the ring. And once he's done with his final run, I would like to see him seated back at the commentary desk. I think he's very good as a color commentator if they wanted to keep him around, which I think they do.
Definitely, definitely. I think they'll keep him around as a commentator. But that last match and last feud looks to be really good, dude. It looks to be with Drew, and it looks to be just very intimate. And I'm very intrigued to see how it's gonna go.
Definitely. And yeah, speaking of Drew and Punk, dude, that we got about 3 weeks left till the blow off to this feud, and we still have not heard what Punk did to Drew McIntyre when he was young in the business. Just had to point that
I
out
like we
again.
won't.
I don't think we will
At this
either.
point, dude, I really don't think we will, which is a damn fucking shame.
Yeah, I mean how much story are you leaving on the table with just that alone?
Hmm.
Well, with one return comes somebody leaving, or kind of leaving. Kiana James, according to PW Insider, was removed from the active WWE roster because she suffered a leg injury, and as a result is expected to be out of action for upwards of 6 months. Well, she wasn't on television, so I'm assuming that she got hurt training. And this absolutely sucks. This absolutely sucks that it was it absolutely sucks. It oh brother. It absolutely sucks that so early on in her run, she had the rug swept out from under her, man, and she's being taken off of television. And it seems that it is at least for now, it's being taken away from her, and it's remained to be seen whether she's gonna go back up or if they're just gonna keep her down in NXT when she does come back. So it sucks, and that definitely explains why we haven't seen any of her.
Definitely, and yeah, like you said, it explains why we haven't seen her. And I hope everything goes well, man. Injuries when you're just coming up like that are the fucking worst.
Yeah.
And I really hope that she, recovers, comes back, and is used genuinely, man. Good thing that Vince is gone, because that's a nail in the coffin for Vince. He is done with you once something like that happens. But I'm glad it happened in the current state of the company to where she still has a chance.
Definitely, bro. Speaking of debuts, according to hashtag PWN, the Motor City Machine Guns are NXT bound, with their potential debut set for NXT CW premiere, according to sources. So, as much as I get it, and I want to start with saying I get it. Okay, I get they need to learn the system, and I get they need to learn the system. They need to, get familiar with the crowd and stuff. I get it. I do. But it just sucks a little that we're going to have to go through an NXT run before they make it to the main roster, because we all know these guys are fucking ready. Okay, these guys are ready. The NXT tag division, could the NXT tag division use them? Sure, the NXT tag team division could use them, but the main roster tag division can use them as well.
The main roster division needs them.
Exactly. They need them. I just hope they do not keep them down there long. If they want to have them feud with Nathan Frazier and Axiom for a bit, have them lose to Nathan Frazier and Axiom, have them get called up, then okay. I'm all right with that. And I get, like I said, I get they got to learn the system, and it is going to be good for them to get familiar with the crowd and stuff and have people get accustomed to them. But it does kind of suck because it does kind of suck. I would be lying to tell you guys it didn't suck a little bit, knowing we're not going to see these guys on Raw or SmackDown, because they can use them. Trust me, they can use them. And that does suck, but I do get it. I do get it. But like I said, there is a small part of me that was like, ugh, God, I wish these guys would just go to Raw and SmackDown already, because we know they're main roster ready in terms of in-ring. But, I do get, them having to learn about, the system and how just the WWE production works. So I get that. But again, these tag team divisions, the tag team division on Raw and SmackDown are desperately need these guys, which is why I'm glad the Lucha Bros specifically put in their contract that they don't want to go to NXT.
Exactly. I respect that from the Lucha Bros. And, with fucking MCMG. I forgot to, do it for a second. But with them, it's not going to be bad. Not saying that they should never go to NXT. It's useful. But they should not be down there long. I think the main roster division really does need them. So I hope it's a quick and very fast run in NXT before they get called up.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I would like to see. What in the world? Wow, this is just breaking. So we were just talking about Kiana James. WWE had plans in place for a romantic storyline with Raw GM Adam Pearce and Kiana James, which explains why she was always around him. Can I help you with anything, Adam?
I'm sure she was helping him with something.
All right. This was slightly teased on TV before she was drafted. After she was drafted to Raw, however, James quietly disappeared and is now on the injury list. That is interesting.
That is ass. Why would they? It sounds like dog shit.
Yeah, that's certainly something. That is certainly something. What was she gonna do? Take over the brand from him, or like what was the end game there?
What was exactly? What's the goal? Just a title shot? I mean, I do not understand that. I'm glad that that's not happening anymore.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, that's something. Well, anyways, speaking of debut, but yes, Motor City Machine Guns, I really hope they're not in NXT long, because they need them up there, and they're kind of up there in age as it is. So let's not keep them in NXT for a year. Let's keep them in NXT for 3 to 5 months max. So WrestleVotes is reporting that there are key management figures in WWE who deeply hated what WWE did with the debut of Giovanni Vinci on SmackDown. If you guys don't know, he came out there, he was prancing around, smiling off into the crowd. Apollo Crews rolled him up, and that was it.
He lost his debut.
He lost the debut.
You're gonna send that man out there in his new Pitbull gimmick and you just have him fucking lose.
And
Oh, forever.
the last time we seen this man on WWE television, he got kicked in the head by Ludwig Kaiser, and they beat the shit out of him. And he's coming out here fucking smiling.
Exactly. That's the thing I don't get, Logan. If management hate it, why was it on TV? How does that make sense?
I guess because the man didn't hate it. I guess Triple H.
I
guess-
guess he just doesn't like fucking Fabian Eichner for some reason. He never did. Really in NXT, he doesn't here. I don't fucking understand the beef.
Yeah, I mean, if there, like Logan says, if there was any interest there, it's fucking gone now. So I don't
Literally.
know. I don't understand the logic behind that one at all. Again, the last time we seen this guy on WWE television, his boys betrayed him. His boys that he's been boys with in a faction with for like 5 years at this point. They betrayed him, and he's coming out here fucking smiling. Are you serious?
Insane.
What a
God.
joke. What a fucking joke. That is just that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, man. And I don't know, for somebody like Triple H, I mean, that is just a Vince move, man. That is a Vince move.
You don't like someone, so you debut them and have them losing their debut? Doesn't make sense to me. At that point, you let him go and let him take his career somewhere else.
Yeah. I actually would like to see Nathan Frazier and Axiom get called. I see your comment, Bell. I actually would like to see them get called up. I think as like a high-flying type tag team, I think they would. I think they stand a pretty good chance of getting over in front of a main roster crowd. I think.
I think so.
Yeah, as just one of those, like I said, just one of those high-flying, excite the crowd tag teams. And again, Lord knows WWE can use tag teams. I didn't understand the Giovanni Vinci debut at all. I thought it was a complete dud, and I thought WWE absolutely shit the bed on that one, because what the fuck was the logic behind doing that to him?
No, I don't understand that shit at all.
So, yeah, man, that is the news on the debut of Giovanni Vinci and I guess how many people in upper management did not like the idea. CM Punk. The WWE shop is now was selling bracelets that say Larry and AJ on it, as you can see on your screen. WWE was selling friendship bracelets for CM Punk to mimic the one used in the storyline with him and Drew McIntyre. The friendship bracelet that says Larry and AJ, they were selling it on the shop for $10. And they then took it off of the site to then put it back on, but instead of saying Larry and AJ, it says CM Punk.
Like, dog.
Dude, how are you going to run a whole storyline? And going, like, if you look at the bloodline, and this is why I'm glad that WWE has never sold the Ula Fala, is because it is prestigious. It is not a piece of fucking. It's not a prop. It's not a piece of merchandise. I have an Ula Fala thanks to a birthday gift from my best bud over here, Sir K. And I drape it over my WWE title because, you know, it reminds me of the greatest WWE championship run of all time, right? From the Tribal Chief. But it reminds me of that. But again, I have an Ula Fala. You know, it was purchased through a Samoan website that sells them. And
it shipped them from Samoa.
Dude,
like,
again, going back to the importance of it, WWE does not sell the Ula Fala because it is a part of their culture, and WWE obviously does not want to respect that. Or did I say respect? WWE doesn't want to disrespect that by selling it as a piece of merchandise and mass producing something that is again, it's historic to their culture. It is a big piece of their culture. Only, only the head of the table wears the Ulafala, and it is a big piece to their culture. And again, now moving over to the friendship bracelet. Exactly. We are honorary bloodline members. That is why I do own me a piece of own me a Ulafala, bro. But it is to be respected.
Exactly.
It is to be respected, and it sits on top of my display case where it is a shrine of the greatest WWE title run of all time. But going back to the CM Punk bracelet, WWE tried to give off this atmosphere or this idea that the friendship bracelet, as well as the Ulafala, were the most important things in the business at the moment. Because Drew had this prestigious bracelet that CM Punk wanted to get at so bad. And then, obviously Solo has the Ulafala that Roman wanted very badly. And if it's so prestigious, why the hell are you selling it? So CM Punk is upset that Drew McIntyre is running around with a bracelet that has his wife and his dog's name on it. Meanwhile, now you have Fat Marks walking around with a bracelet that has your wife and your dog's name on it. If they were going to sell friendship bracelets, the CM Punk bracelet was the way better way to go. 100%.
Yeah.
It also sucks that the lady that created it is not getting any sort of compensation for this, because
She gave that man a bracelet, and it ended up being a whole story on TV for like a month, and then they fucking start selling it. I'd be so mad.
I
I'd
know
be
you can cut
furious.
her a check for something, bro.
Dude, something, bro. Dude, come on, dog.
10,
That's
50K,
insane.
bro, that is chunk change to WWE. And you know how much
Literally,
money they made off the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feud? You could cut her a little
oh,
something, bro.
you cover something, bro, because that's wild. But and that's the thing, that I really wasn't even like doesn't. That's why I really wasn't a big fan of the bracelet stuff with this story, because even when it was just the one bracelet, that was he was fighting for. A lot of times, somebody said it's not about the bracelet; it's about what the bracelet is about, and I'm like. What I don't understand. I wasn't a big fan of the bracelet stuff on TV, and then off of TV they kind of made it worse with selling it and then doing that. And think it's just, to me, it just didn't work out. And then you're just selling the bracelet that just says CM Punk. Even that, why would I buy it? Why would a grown adult buy a friendship bracelet that just says
Well,
CM Punk on it? Maybe, maybe if you could customize the bracelet on the website and put someone's name on the bracelet, and then, you get it and it's that person's name, maybe you could do that. But, I'm not wearing a CM Punk fucking friendship bracelet, bro. Come on.
yeah. I mean, I get it, though, because, I get it for the market that will wear them.
Yeah, but, still, it's
I'm
just,
not wearing it, but,
I wouldn't have sold it in the first place. I think no matter what, any version of the bracelet kind of undermined the story.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I get, I guess friendship bracelets are in now, and I guess there is some sort of market for them. Again, I would never wear one, but I mean, there is a market for it. So I do get it. I just would have went with the CM Punk option overall. I mean, even thinking about selling one that said Larry and AJ, not only is that
It's
weird, but it
wild.
diminishes the story. You know what I mean? I mean,
Like,
again, for the longest time they said, "Oh, it's a 50-cent bracelet, but it's not the bracelet, it's what the bracelet represents." And then they sell it, mass
they
produce it. It
sell it.
says,
It's like, come on, bro. If I'm wearing a bracelet, it's not gonna be a CM Punk. I'm telling you that.
So that is the news, and that is all the WWE news we have for the day, I believe. Jumping over to the last couple AEW stories. Swerve Strickland and MJF, actually. The Wrestling Observer Radio is reporting that MJF is taking some time off. He did not lose to Daniel Garcia, but ended up being taken out, so it was an injury angle. MJF and Swerve both did injury angles and are going to be off of television for a while. Well, obviously, actually, I heard Daniel Garcia was considered to win the match at All Out, but he didn't because they offered him a contract and he again did not re-sign it. Because
And I think
according to the rumors, he's strongly considering a jump to WWE.
I mean, I think there was a story earlier today that like just mentioned like, yeah, he still hasn't signed with AEW.
It is, yep,
Dude.
yep.
I hope so, dude. I hope so.
Yeah, that would be pretty rad. That would be pretty rad because I think I think NXT could very much well use the man, and I think Chef Michaels would love to have him. But as for MJF and Swerve, obviously they both ran injury angles. Obviously they're both going to be out for a little bit, and I think this is something that we definitely should have all expected.
Definitely, it's gonna be a nice breath of fresh air, and it's gonna be really exciting to get them back.
Definitely. And as we mentioned a while ago with Cedric, Fightful Select is reporting the Hurt Business, or the Hurt Syndicate, as they seem to be called now. That is, Shelton, Bobby, and MVP have had talks with AEW in recent weeks. However, sources did not say whether it was whether the deal was done or imminent. So
Interesting, man.
Yeah, I guess this is sort of a good sign for those guys if they wanted to go to AEW, man.
Very good sign. I'm very intrigued to see how that all plans out. They're going to be a part of the Shockwave.
They might be a part of the Shockwave of professional wrestling. With that, Darby Allin, some guy who seems to be involved with the Shockwave that's going on right now. The Wrestling Observer Radio reports the winner between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, which oh man, you guys got some got some magic coming on Monday. That's all I'll say. But
Monday's gonna be a fucking rant, man.
The winner between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin is going to wrestle Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Title at the Tacoma Dome in Washington at Wrestle Dream, which your boys will be live for. And I'm a dude, the what is it? Their giant snowy mountain theme. Very rad.
I dig it. I dig the theme. Hell yeah. Oh, I'll talk rant.
Logan, man, you know us better than anybody, bro. You already know what's up, man. Whew.
Yeah, fucking man.
So yes, the winner of Darby and Mox will go on to face Bryan at the Tacoma Dome at Wrestle Dream for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Darby was at one point winning the match against Danielson at Grand Slam. But he is from the Washington area essentially. So the Mox and Darby stuff was good stuff on AEW Dynamite this week. I actually liked their promo. Obviously AEW proceeded to make no sense out of it about an hour later into the program, but their stuff for face value was very good. I liked what they did. I liked their promo. I liked the basis behind their promo. And I liked the story of Jon Moxley telling Darby Allin, you're never going to be a world champion. You're not him, essentially. And I like where that's going. It's going to make people get behind Darby even more. And Darby, when that man talks, if you look at him and judge him based off his stature and how he looks, you're an absolute fucking dweeb, okay? You're a half-witted fucking idiot if that's how you look at Darby Allin, because that man just exudes world champion. And if you listen to the way he talked on Dynamite and the way he responded to Jon Moxley and his responses, he's a world champion bar none. He's an absolute world champion in the company, and I actually like what they did. Again, AEW proceeded to make no sense out of it a couple minutes or a little bit later in the night, a couple segments later in the night. But As for this, I mean, I figured this was going to be the case, as Darby was still going to end up getting the match anyway. So
Definitely. I'm glad he's gonna still be end up getting the match, and I can't wait for that match. And the fact that they already thought about having Darby win, I think it's a good sign for Darby in the future.
absolutely, man. So we do have our final two stories here. We do have a bit of an update on the AEW and Warner Bros. Story, as we do have some interesting notes, according to Andrew Zarian, about the deal between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery. So the first thing is that AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery's network exclusivity is over. From Warner Bros. Side, the deal is finished. There's no question that the deal is completed, but it is pretty much officially signed. 99.9% are confident that AEW content will be on Max, and all AEW pay-per-views will air on Max as well. Also, Fox has the inventory of ads that they would likely accolade. Or hold on, I completely lost. Fox has the inventory of ads that they would like to accolade somewhere else. SmackDown was getting paid too much, and the ad rate could not make it up. So with that, the next piece of news, like I said, Meltzer went on to say the same thing. He said the AEW and Warner Bros. Deal is a done deal, and there are going to be changes. And from what I gather, there's going to be a pay-per-view component deal. Exactly what it is, I don't know. There is going to be a deal with Max. There's going to be a deal with Max with the pay-per-views. There's going to be a deal with Max with the pay-per-views, which in some sort is what this looks like. Okay. So, the network exclusivity is over. What that means could be a slew of things, because Warner Bros. Discovery is partnered with some sort of streaming deal with Fox and ESPN. So I don't know if AEW content's going to start to kind of bleed over there, but it seems the deal's finished. And I believe Tony said something along the lines of that All Out weekend, that they're going to be here for years to stay. And people are confident that the pay-per-views will air on Max, which is something that is sorely needed for AEW. And it's going to just it's going to make those watches so much better. I would much rather pay a monthly rate of 10, 15 bucks or whatever Max is than $50 every time you want me to watch a fucking pay-per-view.
Exactly, especially with how many of them they're doing now.
Yep.
Like 10 or something every fucking year. I think it's definitely a much better system, and it's definitely needed for pay-per-views to go to Max. But it's interesting. Tony Khan said, I think it was the Collision before All Out, fucking ran out there and for a long time, Warner, something along that lines, man. So I think they're going to stay with Warner, which is good. I think it's a part of AEW's identity, so I think it's good that they're staying there. They just need to include pay-per-views in that deal with Max.
Yeah, no doubt, and it seems as if they're going to get their deal, bro. They're going to get their deal, and they're going to stay with Warner. Now, the bottom bullet point here says Fox has an inventory of ads that they would like to accolade somewhere else. SmackDown was getting paid too much, and the ad rate could not make up. That's interesting, bro. Huh?
That's all they expected. They paid a fucking $1 billion for Vince McMahon's product. What do you think you were gonna get, you idiots?
$1 billion for Triple H's SmackDown is even insane, let alone Vince.
Like, for Vince's SmackDown,
man,
that shit was garbage.
So, all right. Well, Fox, this gets a lot more interesting. This gets a lot more interesting when it comes to Fox.
Man.
AEW. AEW recently filed the trademark for AEW Shockwave, which could be a new show coming to Fox. Melter had this to say about it. He said, there are negotiations going on when it comes to outside of Warner Bros. Discovery, which again goes with the network exclusivity. Sean Ross Sapp. So it seems as if maybe they're letting AEW venture out and work with their partners. It seems.
I see it.
Which, like I said, they are in alliance with Fox and ESPN. So Sean Ross Sapp had this to say. He says, I've heard the rumor that Shockwave could be a Fox thing, but I haven't heard anything really solid. In fall of 2024, ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery are launching a joint sports streaming service in America, and it is certainly not out of the realm of possibility. And with that, there has been discussion backstage and within the TV world that AEW content could be headed to Fox/Tubi. After the AEW Shockwave trademark emerged, there are internal speculation in both worlds that a new program could be headed to Fox. Could be headed to the Fox family of networks, whether it be Fox itself, Tubi, SF1, or anywhere else. Tony Khan was asked about this on the All Out media scrum. He had this to say, stating that the company is set to create a shockwave. This is where things get a little odd to me. He said the company is set to create a shockwave through the world of professional wrestling. He says, it would be safe to say AEW is set to create a shockwave throughout all professional wrestling. I think people tonight are going to be talking about what they saw at All Out, which was a huge business success for us. I think it bodes really well and creates a lot of anticipation for what's going to happen Wednesday night on Dynamite, and will continue to send the shockwave through the professional wrestling world in AEW. What really got me was when he said, people are going to be talking about what they saw at All Out. What did they see at All Out? They seen Swerve and Adam Page, right? But those guys are Dynamite guys, right? Those guys are AEW, I guess. I mean, Swerve is ex-WWE, but he's really a star in AEW, right? In his own way, he's a main event homegrown star, right? He was propelled to the main event in AEW. We'll continue to send that shockwave through professional wrestling, and it creates a lot of anticipation. Why does this give me a horrible vibe that this is going to be some sort of why do I get a horrible vibe this is going to be some sort of Shane McMahon generally managed show?
Well, the vibe I get is some sort of, extreme type weekly show that they're going to be putting on, and I think that's absolutely garbage. First of all,
I was going to say the one vibe I got from it was a show that they could maybe possibly give to Shane, being that Tony Khan, again, what was one of the main things people were talking about coming out of All Out? It was Bryan Danielson getting strangled and what is going on with the Jon Moxley group. And if this does lead to Shane, which John kind of teased it in his promo against Darby Allin, not directly, but he said to Darby, you don't know what's going on. Trust me, you don't know what's going on. That's giving me a weird feeling, bro. But, one thing I'm thinking, man, is maybe some sort of generally managed Shane McMahon show that is where all the AEW disgruntled people that are tired of the disgruntled, broken environment are gonna go.
The whole roster goes to one show. Doesn't make much sense, but
yeah.
But like, any sort of fourth fucking show is a garbage idea no matter what, dude. You already have 3 wrestling shows, or 2 of them don't matter in the fucking slightest. Cancel Rampage, cancel Collision. It's all the fucking same. Now you're gonna introduce a 4th in-ring wrestling show that, might get some viewers the first week or 2. After that, no one's gonna fucking watch that shit. It's gonna fade away into what Rampage and Collision is now, and it's just random nothingness that doesn't matter to your core audience, which at this point only watches Dynamite. Because you're catering to the sickos and the incredibly hardcores, and yeah, you lost a lot of your core audience because your core audience only watches Dynamite. That's the only show that matters to watch. And I'm not going to be watching Shockwave. I don't already watch Collision and Rampage. So it's like you're not fixing. You're only creating, and you could only create so much. Sometimes you got to go back and fix what you already made. And you need to do that a lot in AEW, and you're just abandoning it, leaving it to rot in the dust. And it's very sad, and I think it's a very dumb and very stupid idea to make a 4th wrestling show, no matter what it is.
Yeah, that honestly, that's my biggest gripe with Tony, and that's my biggest gripe with this whole situation is Tony's idea of sending a shockwave Tony's idea of to gain excitement, which he is so far. Now, again, no new signees. Now, again, the more and more this moves on, I feel the more and more that this Jon Moxley thing is going to be a Shane McMahon-led hostile takeover of the company, which I'm going to give it a chance because obviously we watch and review Dynamite. I give everything a chance, but I'm interested to see how it's going to go because I will admit, I'll obviously give it a chance because the Jon Moxley stuff up until this point, is it's my interest started off very low. My interest has gotten higher because they've done a great job so far. When they bring Shane in, how this is all shown and presented to us is going to be a sight to see. But this is my problem with Tony. Every time he wants to garner excitement for AEW, it is either bringing a talent in or creating some new show. Or what we always talk about with Tony Khan, he is always going to buy a new toy. He's always going to buy a new toy, and it's never, let's just garner excitement with what we have. You know what I mean? And when he does, it's the Elite storyline, and it falls right on its fucking face. Which is why I hope the Jon Moxley storyline does not fall on its face, because what they got is a real, easily what Jon Moxley's doing right now is believable because he's Jon Moxley. He's badass. He's a badass. It comes off believable. It comes off like a hostile takeover. I just don't want certain things or certain people or certain aspects to come into the storyline to ruin it. And again, I'm going to give Shane a shot because obviously I watch AEW Dynamite every week and we always talk about it every week. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I don't feel good about it. And I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to give it a chance, but I don't know how it's going to go, man. I don't know. And I'm skeptical about it. And you can't blame me for that because AEW's dropped the ball with a lot of storylines. But how many times in act of garnering excitement for AEW, are you going to add a new show? Or are you going to sign a new guy? Or are you going to do this? Or are you going to just buy something new? Are you always just going to buy a new toy? Can you just try to work with the tools in your tool belt here and not work with your wallet? I mean, and that's the other thing. We have AEW shows that are 3 days out of a 7-day week. We're moving that to 4. That is over 50% of your week. God forbid there's a pay-per-view. Because then, that's 5 days a week. That's 5 days a week we'll have AEW programming. I mean,
nightmare, dude.
You're really playing to your niche audience of basement dwelling fucking neckbeards. I mean, you're really playing to your mark out demons, man. I mean, you
Nothing
genuinely
to
are
all
here.
day. No, exactly. It makes no sense. I think, like Bell says, you're supposed to dedicate how many nights to weekly wrestling? Obviously we love wrestling. We have a fucking podcast about it, but like doing that way too much is just doing way too much. Like like when they started adding more pay-per-views. Oh, this is more AEW content. Why are you complaining? Because it desaturates the content. The more you get, the less special it is. I want it to be special. I want it to be good. I don't want it just to be there all the time. I don't understand, man. Very frustrating. I think they need to cut it back. Cancel either Rampage or Collision. Make one of those a 2-hour show on Friday in a good time slot. Split the rosters. They're doing way too much. Cut down the pay-per-views. In my opinion, they're doing too much adding. They need to do some subtracting because the company, it's going to stretch itself too thin and it's just going to snap. And I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Nobody does. Nobody does, man. But it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate that again, every time he tries to combat the interest of AEW, it always ends in him just buying some sort of new toy to cover up the problem. But as the saying goes, the new coat of paint does not make the stain go away. So yeah, in the end, it will do Tony no good. And instead of having 2 shows that nobody cares about, it's going to be 3 shows that nobody cares about. So again, I do not know how he sees the problem fixing itself out of that one, because all I see again is just another band-aid, and the wound is just too deep. Okay, I think. Okay, I think we kind of narked out there for a minute, but I think we're, golly, right at the end.
I think we did. Never, always at the end.
Okay, yeah, all right. I think we're back. Uh,
Nice.
okay, yes, I think. Okay, right at the fucking end, dude. What are we doing?
Never fucking fails.
It really never does, bro. It really never does. Okay. Oh, disconnected. Golly. Okay.
Right.
Bro. What are we doing? Okay, as we try to get Sir K back here. It's just not working out for me today. All right. Jesus
Goddamn.
fucking Christ, guys. For the love of fucking God. Okay. We're back. I apologize, as fucking always. I apologize for the production blunder. AEW Shockwave. Yes, this is what I was saying. This is one of my main problems with Tony Khan and his just new toy booking and the way he goes about things. The way he goes about things, man. His new toy booking and his just. If I need to garner excitement for the company, I'm either going to sign somebody or I'm going to create a new show. It's getting tired. It's getting old, and it needs to die. He needs to much rather focus on what he has. He needs to much rather focus on what he has and what he has in his tool belt instead of what he has in his wallet. So that's my main gripe with this whole AEW Shockwave thing. And again, I don't know how many days out of the year does this man think we have to watch wrestling, bro, because I could tell you the weeks they have pay-per-views 5 days a week, otherwise 4, nobody's doing that, bro. And again, like I was saying, all it does is add all it does is instead of having 2 shows that nobody cares about, you're adding a 3rd show that nobody cares about. And for Fox, it is hilarious seeing some WWE fans come out of the woodworks, or sorry, some AEW fans coming out of the woodworks, and they're excited about AEW going to Fox. Meanwhile, those people are the same people that always made fun of WWE for always having the black screen and the mute constantly on Fox. So goes to show you the double standard by the IWC. But bro, Fox is horrible, man. Fox is horrible when it comes to the muting, when it comes to the black screen, all that type of stuff. Fox is absolutely atrocious with it, and nor do I care to see AEW have another show. I sure as hell don't care. I sure as hell do not care to see them have another show, and that being on Fox, because again, Fox was just not a good network, bro. Not a good network for the television and for the type of audience that professional wrestling brings.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Fox did not work out for WWE for wrestling. Too much censorship, black screening for crowd chants and shit. It was a horrible system, especially if you got people like Mox possibly going over there and like leading the charge in that show. That man will not work out on a Fox-led show, man. So do not know why people are excited or even intrigued about the idea of a show on Fox. I hope that doesn't work out, and I hope they don't do Shockwave as some 4th show. They got to stop just adding, and they need to fix what they have. So if anything, they need to subtract a lot of things from AEW. So I think it's a very bad, model to just keep adding shows and people and this and that and titles. And they need to cut it down. They need to cut it down and cut it back. And I really hope they do that, but with the way this Shockwave stuff is looking, it looks like we're going to get a 4th wrestling show. And I think that's a very horrible idea.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. And yeah, that is all the news we have today here for you guys, man. Once again, now that I have calmed down and somewhat gathered myself, I want to apologize again.
Oh, yeah, is it?
I want to apologize for the production blunder again. Obviously, bro, never want this kind of stuff to happen. We seem to have a bad bug over here on NHP, bro. But
Great,
I apologize. I apologize greatly for the production blunder, and I apologize for the big bit of a hiccup towards the end of the stream. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us a little bit earlier here today. Thank you guys so very much. It means a lot to me, man, that you guys and a lot of you guys, bro, this episode is almost reached 100 views, bro. So thank you guys so very much, and thank you guys for all the new subs that have came over, man. They like what we do, and man, I mean, that's very, very endearing, bro. That's very endearing, and that's very humbling that you guys like what we do, and you guys like the podcast, you like what we do, like what we're about, and we are very, very happy to have you guys. If there is any new viewers, and as for the OGs, bro, you guys are the OGs for a reason, man. Thank you guys always for being here, bro. And yes, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on episode 231. It has been a pleasure. Always a pleasure for my Johnny Mayhem. Johnny.
And I.
My bad.
That's okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels podcast. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Logan, Bell, Naysayers, Hunter, Durante, my guys, JT, JB. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. And with that, it has been always a pleasure, man. And with that, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all on Monday with Unscripted.
Peace.